Hi, everybody. It's Dee Slater with Create with Dee, and welcome to our Wednesday night Facebook Live. This is week 4 in our April series of easel cards. And I think, I don't want to call it the grand finale, but I have a really cute easel card. This is called a twist easel card, and it actually incorporates the bookbinding fun fold. And then when you open it up, here's the easel. We're doing a sneak peek of one of my favorite upcoming bundles in the new catalog that's going to start in May. I think May 3rd this goes live. It's called Sweet Songbird, and you get this adorable stamp set, and there's a coordinating punch with it too. All right, so let's see. Before we get started on doing our easel card, do want to make a couple of reminders and announcements that the current annual catalog will be available while supplies last, those things that are retiring, through May 2nd. And then on May 3rd, the new annual catalog starts. And so we'll soon be saying goodbye to some of our, maybe some of our favorite stamp sets and tools and colors, but that's only to make room for some new stuff that comes in. Hi, Marge. Yes, please do say hi as you come on. Thank you for that. Also, if you're here on Facebook, you probably are my follower on my Create with Dee page. And I did post an event. It's called the Summer Stamp Camp. It's going to be at the end of June, so plenty of time yet to attend. It's a free event. It will be on the events tab. So that's a little bit different than what I've done in the past. I will have, Facebook Lives throughout a 2 days. Some will be live, some will be recorded. And I will be doing projects. Of course, I'll featuring some of my favorites that are in the new annual catalog. If you want to play along with me at the summer stamp camp and make the things with me, I'll have a materials list, and you can get kits to go and all sorts of fun stuff. But even if you just want to use what you in your stash, it's a free event. Come and see the projects, make them along with me, and have some fun throughout the day. It's going to be on Facebook, so you don't have to worry about necessarily joining me live. It's just when you get a chance at the end of the day or a break during the weekend, you can see what was going on. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get started on our bookbinding fun fold twist card on here. It's going to feature some of the new in colors that you may have spied. Like, what color are those, Dee? You might have been asking. Well, the red tone is Sweet Sorbet. The green is a new one that's going to be called Parakeet Party. So those of you that were missing the lemon lime twist, you'll really like to have this again. Other in colors that you'll be seeing here are Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide, kind of red. It's almost tempting turquoise for those of you who have been around, and that one retired and we were missing that. And then also Orchid Oasis. So those will be some colors that you'll be seeing me use here in the upcoming weeks. All right, let's get started on our cute card here. I'll turn the camera around. Hi, Rita. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, we'll focus on here, on our cute little guy. Well, let's go ahead and, like I always like to go ahead and make the base first. So those of you that just want to see the basic instructions on how to do the card base, you can watch early in the broadcast or the video replay. And then those of you that want to stick around for the decorating, then you can do that too. All right, so we're going to first start with our measurements. So for this card base, we are going to start with a piece of cardstock. In this case, it's crumb cake. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, so half of the sheet of cardstock, and it's scored at 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/2. So let's go ahead and we'll put that down. And I am going to get my burnishing action going. So as you can see, what I did is I folded it in half typically. And then on this fold here, this was going to be the 1 1/4. I'm folding it away from it. Okay, so we have that. And then what I like to do is go ahead and adhere this bookbinding part of it down right away. You can use liquid glue, but I find that I really like tear and tape for this. I'm on a tear and tape kind of love fest right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 strips down and go close to the score lines. Again, liquid glue or the Stampin' Seal Plus, whatever your favorite is. Like I said, I just really like the security on these book binds with the tear and tape. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get started. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for saying hi. All right, we'll get the tear and tape out of the road here. And we just want to go ahead and close it as normal. Get a good contact on that adhesive and ready to go. So our next part of the easel is this fold line here down the middle for the twist part of it. For that, what we're going to do is I like to go ahead and fold it from the lower right corner up here because it's easier for me to go in this direction. So we're just going to go ahead and go up. And I'm going to stand up here for just a second. And I'm going to line this up. If you wanted to, you could take it to your trimmer and go at an angle, but I find it's, for me, it's almost just as easy to finger press that. Okay, so there's the fold that we made, but I want it to go in the other direction. So just simply fold it back. I know you might say, well, just open it up and fold it this way, but in my mind, I like to make sure it's matched up this way. And really, that's the basics of our easel, or our bookbinding easel, easel card here. Or what am I trying to say? Easel twist card there. So we just need a stopper. So that's the card base. That's how you can do it. Then you can go crazy decorating. So I'll show you how I made this cute little wooden scene for my birds. Okay, so I'm going to do something that you rarely see me do, and that is to go ink pad to direct onto the cardstock or to the designer paper. This designer paper is from Hearth and Home. It's in the current mini catalog. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to drag my ink across it. I could take a blending brush and do that, but I really kind of like the idea of let's kind of do this technique. And since it's wood grain, I'm going to follow the grain of the wood. And I'm using soft suede. And so that kind of gives that kind of background color for my, my wood on it. Okay, so ahead of time, what I've done is we're going to need 2 pieces of 4x4. And so on one of your pieces of 4x4, just cut it at a diagonal. And I'm going to do the same technique with that. I could have gone ahead and, what do I want to say? I could add the ink first. I'm doing a super light touch, and I'm just dragging the end of the ink pad. You know, that tends to be the part we ink our stamps in the middle, and there's always ink around the edges. So, you know, it's kind of a way of taking advantage of that ink. So here's where the label goes. I'm using the opposite end. So here's this end. I'm using the pad end that's closest to, you know, closest to the edge on it. So I'm just going to lightly ink and drag and add that color right onto it. So if you don't have blending brushes, or you don't, or you know, you want to try this, go ahead. I think it's kind of fun to learn different inking techniques. And then this is a piece of that same designer paper, 1x4. Okay, I think that's where we're going to go. Let's go ahead and bring in our card base. This 1x4 piece is going to go in this section here. And so I'm going to use my liquid glue. I know. Rita said, "Yay, ink to paper." I've been playing around with the technique that Rita shared with me, and it's a little bit of a hot mess right now. I'm not going to lie, but it's kind of fun too. All right, so here's my my wood grain that I want to do on it. So I thought there's a lot of paper. There's background stamps that had wood grain, and I wanted our duo of little birdies to be all about being, you know, in a tree type of a nod to it. And we'll go ahead and get that one inked up or put some adhesive on it. And so with that diagonal, where we scored it at 4 1/4, you know, that's the size of the paper that we started with. So when we scored at 4 1/4, we have this square that's 4 1/4. So our matting layers could be a 4 by 4. And then that gives it a nice square for our twisted easel card. And I'm going to go ahead and put the designer paper on the inside of this as well. Put this on. It's kind of our little tree background that our birds are going to enjoy being part of. Okay, we'll put that off to the side for the moment. And we're going to get in our ink for our bird. And this is one of the upcoming bundles that would be available May 3rd. It's called Sweet Songbirds. It's a stamp set and punch. So you have the Songbird Builder punch as well as the Sweet Songbirds stamp set. And this is what this punch looks like. It punches out this main guy's image and 2 of the wings and also a little beak. So that's what we'll be doing here tonight. And I'll get the ink pad. That's the Sweet Sorbet. So it's kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It kind of is like a raspberry kind of a color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let that rest really lightly to get good contact. And then going to ink it. It's got lots of real estate on there, so I want to give it time to really connect to the paper. And then I've got this little itty bitty wing. I'm going to do that one then as well. And we'll punch or stamp him. I think it'll be okay if I go over this far. Okay. Close up this juicy, juicy new red ink. And we'll get out our punch builder. And we'll line it up. And punch. And all the other little pieces go flying. Get my snips. And we'll get a little wing. Come in here. Oops, go this way. Almost looks like a teardrop in a way. Alrighty. And while I have the punch, I'm going to get some Daffodil Delight and make our beak with that. Come in this way. Done with the punch. So I have our cute little beak. It almost has a little, kind of looks like a heart, but not really. Sharon says she's got this set coming. All right, Sharon's a demonstrator too. Let's put the eyes on before we put the beak. In the stamp set, there's 2 sets of eyes. One is ones that I used here today with the, you know, just the regular, I guess, open eyeball. And then there's one that's kind of, that it's got a smiley face, or looks like a smiley face eyes with it when you do that with eyes closed. I'm going to use the ones with the eyes that are open. And our little bird is kind of at an angle. So I found that when you stamp the eyes, you kind of want to go a little bit at an angle as well. So go ahead and get those stamped. And this beak, if you use the punch out part of it, there's a stamp too that you could stamp over the white part on it. I kind of like to use the cardstock myself. I've played around with it a couple of times and I just like that look on it. It's a really little punch, and it can be real easy to get gloppy with the liquid glue. And I don't use the fine tip glue pin enough to warrant me getting that. But what I found is I just use my silicone mat, put a little bit of the multi-purpose glue on it. I'm going to take just a regular toothpick, and I can put just a little bit on here. That way I'm not overdoing it, because it really just needs to be tacked down. And use the like the putty side of my take your pick tool and put it down. There's our kitty. He's so cute. I just can't hardly take it. Oh my gosh, he's adorable. And then we'll get a Stampin' Dimensional. I think it's a full one here. Let's see if I need a mini. If I can do a full one, I'm going to do a full one. I better do a mini. You could take a regular size Stampin' Dimensional and just cut it in half, or if you have the mini dimensionals, you can use that. Take that off. And then put our little wing on. And our little red bird is done. Oh my gosh. How much fun are we going to have with this little birdie? So we need 2 of them. So ahead of time, I've gone ahead and made the second one. So we have that one all done. So we've got our 2 birds. We put those off to the side. Next, I'll bring in the sample again. Next, I have one of them on a little bird's nest. And that's one of the stamps that are in the stamp set. And I'm going to use some scrap of crumb cake here and get the same ink that I used here, the soft suede, to kind of darken up our little wood grain. And we'll go ahead and ink that up. And we're just going to fussy cut this. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down just a second to let it transfer. Move that off to the side for now. And this one's so easy just to cut. So just follow the shape of the nest. Kind of like a half moon type of a look if you want, but it does have a flat bottom. And that's our little bird's nest. Okay, let's bring the card back in. And what we're going to do is take one of our birds and put it behind the nest. And then we'll go ahead and take, this is the new, in color again, this is Parakeet Party. And we're going to use I used the bow punch leaf, or bow punch. That's in the current mini catalog, and made our little spring leaf backgrounds, and we'll build up our bird like this. Okay, so that's where we're going with that. And you can make these 3D if you want. And in fact, I think I'll use, let's see, I think I'll put a little mini dimensional right here on the center of the back of the nest. I'm all involved and I'm not even looking at comments. I'm so sorry. I think where am I? I think I'm good. I think I'm all caught up. And so just like maybe have the tail kind of peeking out, just wherever you want our little bird in the nest to be. And let's go ahead and we'll get some leaves on the back side. And I want to, excuse me, I want to be kind of intentional about where I put the glue, because it is going to go on the fold line somewhat. And I don't want to get glue that's going to extend over here, because I don't want it to get caught. So we just want to be careful about where we put any adhesive on something that's going to kind of reside across that diagonal score line. So let's see. So again, I kind of put it down on the leaf here, and I'm putting the glue on the front side of the leaf, kind of down in the stem area here. And with the liquid glue, that gives me a little bit of play. Just looks like a little spring chick, little happy family maybe. Okay, and I should have maybe put that on the bird and not on the nest, because that's going to show just a little bit on it. But I think it'll be okay once we get on it. Okay, that one's done. And then, again, this is part of the stamp set. It's got this, I should just bring this out again. It's got this little branch. And again, it's like, I think so many times we forget that we can fussy cut. I'm going to bring back in my soft suede. And we're going to fussy cut the branch as well. These are easy fussy cuts, I think. So we'll go ahead and get that one stamped. Get my scissors. Nice kind of straight lines on this. So, and I'm going pretty close to it. I'm going to go ahead and cut, you know, right. I'm not going to leave any, what do I say, any borders on it. Get that kind of out of the road. For this one, like what I do is I kind of cut to the branch and then come in and cut the V out. It's easier for me to make the smaller cuts that way. And we'll come in. It's getting little. You could do this probably on Whisper White or some other one, but I just really wanted the, you know, the crumb cake background on it as well. All right. We've got that. So I've got 2 more of our little branches, or our leaves, I guess. And I found that this kind of lined right up like this. I'm like, well, that's kind of fun. And if we want to, we can even bring back in our silicone mat. And let's see, my liquid glue. Again, we'll put like a little bead of it along the tip of the branch. And the mat's good because that way, when this dries on the mat, you can just rub it off. Look how that just kind of lines right up. It was kind of a good discovery. So, instant tree branch. Love it. All right, and I think we can be ready to build our top part of here. All right, I've got this bird. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. And what I want to do is when this opens up, you know, you want to position your bird on the front part of your easel where you want it to reside when it's open and you've got the stopper there. So I'll probably put the stopper somewhere in here. So on this one, I'm going to put the bird about right in here. And on that, I do want to put my dimensionals, my normal dimensionals. And it looks like the majority of this is going to be on here. So it's that side of it. Yep. Just want to make sure I get the right side with the dimensionals on. And I don't want to put any that's going to be, again, overhanging the center fold line that we made. All right, so I think that little birdie is going to be just about, whoops. I want to make sure I got my leaves within the fold here too, because when I mail it, you know, I don't want it to get all dinged up. So I think I can move it over just a tad. There we go. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is in the nest. He's adorable, adorable. All right, so we can go ahead and put our second bird down. And on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to put a dimensional here. Our bird will sit on top of it, but that way the leaf or the branch kind of has something to rest on. But we're going to cover it up with the bird. So let's put the dimensional here. and keep it again within kind of the frame of the card. It's okay if it goes this way because when it's opened, you know, it's just going to extend out. And let's see, I want to put another leaf here. Go ahead and do that. Oops, and I do want this to kind of, maybe I'll cut a little bit of this off. Let me get a mini dimensional. It got a little wobbly on my sample one because I had a lot of weight going on the other direction. Let's put a little dimensional on that. Okay, do that. And now we'll get this bird down. And I want to go ahead and just do it here. Just really support that branch. And we can put our little bird, this one here. So now when we open it up, we've got our little pair of birds on it. All right, so now we just need to add a few more details to our card. First is going to be adding the little sentiment that's part of the stamp set. It says, "A little bird told me." And I'm going to go ahead and use Whisper White. Wanted to just show that we are all about the fussy cuts today. And that's okay. That's what we want to do. And I'm just using our soft suede. And I want to take, and there's a little wood grain sign that's in the stamp set. I'm going to ink it up. Oops, I didn't ink that very well. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to stamp off once, twice. Oh, I got a dimensional on there. Goodness. Let's try that again. Once, twice. And then the third time, we'll stamp on some basic white. And then with full strength, with our soft suede, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "A little bird told me." And that's going to be how we made our little wooden sign. And we'll get that fussy cut. If you want to, leave a comment or two, and I will draw for a name and give one of these little cards away here today. I'll send it to a U.S. resident. So make a comment so you get entered into the drawing if you'd like. And I'm going to put that over on the side with, again, let's see, I think a regular dimensional will work. Yep. And I just kind of have it on one side here. Put that down. I did put some, like this is one of the new gems and everything, and I tried to do, so, excuse me, a little different things than in bow. And it's cute, but I think that it doesn't really add anything. So I have a bunch of these bows made up with the linen thread. And I think what I want to do is we'll just add a little texture to it right there. So I think that one's cute. All right, let's make the stopper component. For that, what I'm going to use is the oval or the double oval punch. And ahead of time with the Sweet Sorbet cardstock, I've already cut out the scallopy one on that. So sorry, excuse me. I've got the catches in my throat. And on this one, what I did is on the sample, I took the crumb cake cardstock, but I thought on this one, I wanted to try something a little different. Let's go ahead and use go back to our ink pad direct to our designer paper. And I'm going to go ahead and this is some scrap of that paper. Lightly ink it up. And then we'll stamp the other sentiment that's on the branch side. So the other sentiment reads like, a little birdie told me it's your special day. I keep closing up my soft suede, and that's my ink that I'm using today. So I'm going to ink that up and stamp. Like it. Oops, excuse me. And we'll get our punch. Need to take a little bit of it off the bottom. So it just fits in there. And I thought that would help maybe coordinate it to the our little wood sign. And we can see which one that you like better when we're all done. So on our easel cards, we always need a stopper. And so this is going to act as our stopper. Your special day. And I have 2 more of the leaves. Whoops, let's get that one centered. There we go. And this time, like before, I kind of had it, when I first did it, I did the leaves underneath of it, but I didn't have it staged quite right. And so I think on these, I am going to go ahead and put these down first. I'm going to cut off a little bit of the stems. And let's see, I don't think it matters. So if we put this here, one leaf going this way. Kind of connect them like that. 2 regular dimensionals on our stopper. Got dimensionals backings everywhere. And put that like that. So that's our little bookbinding twisted easel card. Woohoo! So this is a great little fun fold to do. I love the little birds. I think they're adorable. You could even mix and match some colors there. You can do blue birds, some yellow, whatever color of birds that you would like. I just wanted to really show off this cute sweet sorbet. All right, let's go ahead and bring in all of the easel cards that we made this month. So we have our twisted, or our bookbinding twisted easel card. We have our center fun fold that we did. We did our 8.5 by 5.5. This is the reverse easel card. And then we did an easel card 3-way, and one of them of the 3 ways had the little box that you could have a little treat or a gift in. So I hope everybody, yes, it would be great at the Christmas card. You're right, Chris. So this is our easel, April easel month. And I hope you had as much fun following me this month making easel cards as what I did creating these for you guys. And I hope that you've been maybe trying them each week as well. So have a great Wednesday and have a great, just have a great rest of your week, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.